Rebekah transformed her agency from a complex, bulky, heavy agency model into a licensing agency model. And in this video, she's going to walk you through how she did it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. A couple of weeks ago, we had Rebekah on. We talked at length about how she did this, but there was a couple of questions that people had, and they wanted some more insights into how they can model her success. So in this video, we're going to walk you through a tell-all, if you will, interview with Rebekah, showing how she was able to do this. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check it out. So thanks for coming back. Thanks for addressing these people who want some direction on what it means to turn your business into a licensing business.
Okay.
And how they can actually do that. So tell me, what does it mean to turn your Clunky your Clunky agency into a licensing business?
I'm going to do my darndest to make this make more sense for some folks, because honestly, it's so simple sometimes that it goes like right over our heads. And that's sometimes a piece of this. But in a traditional, Sam, and I know, you and I were back in the day, 2016, doing Facebook ads, right?
Yeah.
The traditional sense of like, we became the lead generator, we became the lead distributor. And in some sense, our butts were on the line to make sure that those leads turned into profit for the business owner.
Yeah.
Right. And if you didn't, then it's because you did your job bad, is what you got blamed for back in the day. And sometimes some people still have that because they positioned it incorrectly. So we had a super clunky, 100% done for you, like as if I could just go in there and be their business savior, which I couldn't be. I couldn't be, though, even though I think like I had a little bit of ego in there thinking I wanted, if I could just save their business. I can't save your business, bro. Like, I'm not there day to day. I can't do it. So we decided, or I decided, to transition from a done for you, having a media buying team, and I mean team, multiple people on this team of constantly checking the ads manager and updating and refreshing and creating new content all the time, 24/7, and being on the hook for the results, to packaging it and distributing it as almost a done with you process. So instead of putting ourselves on the line for everything, we said, hey guys, we're going to license this stuff to you that is proven to work and has made other businesses money. But we're going to partner with you. We're not going to be on the hook for everything with you. We're going to give you the stuff, and we're going to give it to you in such a stinking simple way that a kindergartner could do it. So there's no excuse of, I don't know how, because we broke it down in such a way. And there's a trick to that in making it that simple, because marketers, we love to overcomplicate things, and making it so simple that we can just share this, license this to you, and you can distribute it down your, market targeted area easily, kind of a little bit of what UpHex does, right? There's some similarities I know that you and I have, and getting you massive results. But instead of like me trying to be your business savior, or you thinking I'm going to be your business savior, I'm going to come in and we're going to partner with you, and we're going to give you these licensable assets that have lots of utility, and you don't have to do a lot of heavy lifting with it. And that's what we did in the most simplistic way. I'm going to say this, and I don't know if I should say this because it might just complicate everything I just said.
Say it.
Okay. For me and my experience, licensing is about three things. It's about assets, it's about distribution, and it's about control.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's the most simplistic way to say it.
Let's go through each of those. So assets, what do you mean by assets?
So it's got to be intellectual property, I mean, IP, that is useful. So value equals usefulness, right?
Yes.
So if it's not useful and can't be duplicated forward into one specific niche or sub-niche, it's really difficult to license, right? There has to be this value proposition and utility of it that we could just plug and play that piece, and move forward and duplicate it a million times.
So like, yeah, that's the thing, right? Be able to duplicate it over. It's got to be useful. It's got to be duplicatable.
Yes.
Right? It's like, pull it off the shelf. Here you go. This will get you X.
Correct.
Right? And that's, I mean, you have three parts. This first part is where UpHex, that's what we do. We give
Right.
you a library of 1,000 ads that are off the shelf, resell them, right? But you're not going to be able to license those if that's all you have,
Correct.
right? Because for you, I give you, let's say we're talking about just the ad part.
Mm-hmm.
You need a system,
Correct.
right? So when we're talking
Distribution.
about IP, that's one of the pieces, but you need a full system.
Yes. So like, in marketing space, there's campaigns that can be licensed, right? Like I think most of your market works with small business, right?
Yeah.
So like the thing, like people forget that like there's a freaking holiday like every other week, like there's a National Hot Dog Day, there's a
Yeah.
National Girlfriend Boyfriend Day. You could make a list of them. And so creating campaigns that actually produce revenue for a business, those things are licensable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell people that. So let me just like, I'm reading between the lines. I
Okay.
tell people this all the time. With a small library of 2 to 4, 5 ads, you can
Hmm.
have a 6-figure agency. And
Yeah.
all you do is you take that ad, you use it, but then when it's St. Patrick's Day, you throw the St. Patrick's Day skin on it,
Right.
which I call it the reason why. Like the reason why we're doing this crazy offer is because in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the same ad can go out with the reason why over and over and over. And you're selling the same thing.
Yeah. I love how you said skins. Because my son who used to play Fortnite, oh my God, I hated Fortnite because every freaking day I was like, Mom, I need this new skin. I need this new skin. It was the same damn game. You know,
That's same game,
it just
same moves, different
right.
skin.
You different skin, and then they charge you for it. Yep.
Okay, so all right, I got the assets. The
Okay.
next one was distribution.
Distribution is this is the idea where you become the real estate agent, right? You become the real estate investor, and you've got all these rental properties, or you have 5 rental properties, in terms of like licensable IP, and you get to say, I get to rent these properties as many daggum times as I want to.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a real life example. We have a franchise slash affiliation that we are connected to, and this is on our jiu-jitsu school side. And we started with one location and we proved it really, really good. And now, like, we get new clients from this space every single month, sometimes 5 and 10 at a time, because there's thousands of them. And all we do, I don't know if I'm sharing too much here, but I'll go ahead and share it because I love your group of people, is we license out their website for them. And we've built it so that it converts and they're getting quality leads off of Google from it. And we just duplicate that puppy every single time a new client comes in
Yep.
and they pay us every single month for it.
Yep.
Stupid, simple way to license something. And because we got that flow, that distribution, we started at the top of that affiliation slash franchise and we just moved all the way down. Well, we're still moving down. Um, Hundreds
You
of
know
locations.
what? You know why people can never figure this out?
Why?
Because these first 2 steps are, man, they're like the ethos of a successful model, licensing or not.
Right.
Is because they say, and when we get new people into UpHex, I have my team, they do their daily onboarding calls, they meet with people, they're talking to them. And the one question we always ask is, what niche are you in?
Hmm.
And when people say, oh, I'll work with anyone, we're like, yeah, you're going to be doing this a long time before you make a single dollar, right?
Yeah.
These are the feature or process based offers. You can't get any traction until you learn you must make outcome based offers, and outcomes are specific to a niche.
Yeah.
So like your whole model, your whole thing is based on whether or not you can provide something immediately useful to a person. So you guys have created an asset, that's step one, that is
Hmm.
immediately useful to a particular franchise of martial arts studios. That's
Hmm.
step two.
Hmm.
That's amazing. All right, step three is,
Oh, and it's so easy. Like
yeah,
it's so stinking easy. Once you're in there, you flow down. You flow down.
yeah.
Yeah. So step three,
Step
which
three.
is control. So this is where people get like, oh my God, Rebekah, someone's gonna steal your stuff. Well, We build it in a black box, if you would.
Hmm.
So we don't hook anyone into a long-term contract, even though our clients stay for years. And when I say years, I screenshotted one of our clients the other day, had a $150,000 lifetime value with us. And that was in like November. So
Wow.
yeah, it's increased by then. And like most agencies are losing clients 3 months in. Is that the average? You would know better than I.
I think it depends on the niche, but unfortunately, it's actually, I think they did a poll or a study and it was something like 2 months.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Not
So it's
good.
bad. It's not good. So we control all the assets. We
Hmm.
control how it's distributed. We give people, if it's a sub account on high level that's distributing a campaign, they have a login. They say, "Hey, Rebecca, I want to cancel," which doesn't happen often, but if they do, we ask for a 30-day notice and we just pull them out of the system. That's it. I think marketers are probably the worst at stealing things. Business owners don't want to steal things. They just want to run their businesses.
That's right.
And so we box it and package it in a way that one, like it's here. I mean, I guess if you went through a lot of work to figure out all the nuts and bolts in the middle, you could, but they're not doing that. And so it protects us, it protects them. It's how we let, we have agreements that they sign initially coming on board. But I've never had to sue anybody or anything like that. So we control the asset. And can I tell you a story? And this was
Oh,
a story I
please.
watched on
Please.
a TV, not a TV show, a movie. Have you watched Founders?
No.
Okay, I recommend the movie for everyone. It's how McDonald's became a franchise.
Okay.
And it's the McDonald's brothers. They had this one location and they built this entire system of like, it's really cool, like how people turned in the store and the flipping of the burgers and the timing, like they got a rhythm to everything. Well, then this dude sees it happen. His name is Ray Kroc, and he was like, let's take this local to global, like let's take this out there. And they were like, no, people won't run it like we do. He was like, I'll manage the whole thing. If I can do it for you, will you, cut me in? Well, he starts getting these like middle class Americans who had jobs working hard, but they wanted more and they wanted to be business owners, and so he got them to invest into these franchises, and it was working. Burgers were selling, the franchise owners were happy, but Ray Kroc, wasn't making any money because the percentages were too small. Well, then he had this investor dude come in and he was like, Ray, you're not in the burger making business, you're in the real estate business. He was like, you need to buy the land, build the McDonald's, and rent it out. And then if a franchisee doesn't behave, you kick them out. You give them their notice. Ciao, bye. And so McDonald's is not a burger business, it's a real estate business. And they're controlling the asset and distributing it as they choose.
So here's what I'll say. The first two parts of your system, I think people have in some sense figured out, right? Myself personally, I mean, I even built an agency on those two steps. The black box that you're talking about, that is so valuable. I haven't figured that out. I don't know how to do that, right? I mean, I could probably try and maybe off of that story, I could glean some things. But I think that if you are an agency and you're watching and you've done step one and step two, the thing that is going to hold you up is absolutely step three. And that is what is going to hold you back. And the difference between what I did as an agency, so I did the traditional, then I went SaaS, and it was good. The SaaS model was good, but I still did have a lot. I didn't have the same leverage
Right.
that you had,
Yeah.
right? And had I done that, even then, man, I probably would have, oh man, that would have changed everything. And I think that right there is what makes you and what you've done so special. And that's why you were able to do $800,000 a year, your first year. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It was
And
kind of,
what do you, I don't know how good you are at your numbers. I'm terrible at them.
yeah.
Um, do you
Yeah.
know what happened to your margins before and
Oh my
after?
God. I fired a ton of people.
Yeah.
One, they were a pain in my ass. Yeah, no, like when I go look at things, it's kind of ridiculous. It's like 90% margins.
That
Um,
is crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. It's just because we don't work a lot. And I mean, call me a lazy marketer if you would. we just create when we need to things that are super licensable, and anytime we can get into any type of distribution like a franchise. There's a tutoring franchise that we recently, well, it's probably been about 6 months that we got into. And one thing about franchise owners is if they own one location, they own 10 locations or 50. And so that's just a tip, a key for everyone who's like looking for like multiple clients at once. Like that's a super easy way. And so we go in there, we do something very unique for them, and then we just duplicate it and get paid for each of the locations every single month because our licensing is built on recurring revenue. We don't do like, oh, pay me in front for the year. I mean, that's cool for some folks, right? But I don't want to start at zero every month. I want to know what that safety net looks like every month. Yeah.
Well, I think that leads us to the natural conclusion. You and I have been talking for, well, we've known each other a while, and we did another video together. You actually came in and did amazing training for our MVP program, which
That was so
people
much
just
fun.
rave about.
You can
And
invite me back anytime.
oh, I love that. Hey, I'm gonna.
Okay.
But I know you have basically helped other people license the way you have licensed. And
Yeah.
you've taken them through in a curated way what you had to like learn through bumps, dents, and bruises,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like you're piloting a new program on helping people do that. Is that a fair way of saying that?
Yes. So I had, marketers, agency owners for years tell me, like, Rebekah, you've got to bring this to market. Like, you don't understand the agency space. Like, people are struggling. And it wasn't the right time then. But this year I am. We're bringing this to a bigger space. We're starting with a beta group of 30 to 50 agencies slash copywriters slash contractors. That's kind of the space we're going to focus this on initially and help them take what they have, which is valuable. Copywriters are struggling right now with AI. And so it's like, how can you use this in your favor, package it correctly, distribute it correctly, and license out all these things that you have that are really probably super useful for businesses, Like, I'm going to stop being selfish and kind of go and see what we can do and create and help more businesses put this model into their business.
I'll tell you two things. If you're watching this and you want to get more information on it, there will be a link below the video. But I did jump into our coaching program, and I said, if there's one incentive why all of you guys should get through the core curriculum and get your agencies getting that money in the door, it is to be able to work with Rebekah and convert that thing into a licensable asset, because that is something that I haven't figured out how to do.
Yeah.
I have figured out how to do steps 1 and 2, and I teach you that in our program. But this one, you guys hurry up, get there. And I know there's 2 people in our program that have already reached out to you. One that you're doing a deal with, and then another one that you sent me a voice message on and say, hey, this dude
That's
is
something
like primed for some success. And so I told my crew that I said, hey, you guys, don't be sleeping on this, hurry up or else. So I would say that to anybody, if you guys feel pretty confident in steps 1 and 2, man, go down there in the description, click on the link, go to the next steps and see what Rebekah can do for you. Cause I know what she's charging for it. She's undercharging, which is so crazy. So it's awesome. So thanks for doing this. And I am going to hold you to coming in and do another workshop for us.
Tell me when.
All right.
All right.
Guys, thanks for watching. Go down below. We'll see you in the next video.